6 o'clock, so I'm going to call to order the regular meeting of the Charter Township of Garfield, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Ian, could we have a roll call, please?
Schmuckel.
Here.
Corn.
Here.
Excuse me, McManus. Lady McManus.
Here.
Gustinelli.
Here.
McCumber.
Here.
Lapp.
Here.
And Jay McManus.
Here, thank you. First item on our agenda this evening is public comment. We have public comment at the beginning and at the end of each meeting, but we also have, it looks like 4 public hearings on the agenda tonight as well. So I would just suggest that if your comments are along one of those 4 public hearings, you'd wait until that time to make your comments. It's not necessary, but at any point, we will go ahead and open up public comment at this time. And as is often the case, we don't have a line of people going to the microphone, so we'll go ahead and close the first public comment and move on to review and approval of the agenda. And if there's any conflicts of interest, now would be the time to state those.
I'll make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Everybody's supporting it.
Motion made and supported twice to approve the agenda as presented. Any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Consent calendar.
The purpose of the consent calendar is to expedite business by grouping non-controversial items together to be dealt with in one board motion without discussion. Any member of the board, staff, or the public may ask that any item on the consent calendar be removed therefrom and placed elsewhere on the agenda for full discussion. Such requests will be automatically respected. If the item If any item is not removed from the consent calendar, the action noted in parentheses on the agenda is approved by a single board action adopting the consent calendar. This evening you have minutes, December 23rd, 2025, regular meeting, recommend approval. Bills, general fund, $218,372.71, recommend approval. Bodie Frazier, developers escrow fund, stormwater reviews and determinations, utility plan review, oversight, and closeout, $2,997.50. General utilities, $307.50. And general, $410, for a total of $3,715. Recommend approval. We have the Parks and Recreation Commission 2025 Annual Report, receive and file, and consideration of Resolution 2025-38-T amended, adoption of 2026 income-based exemption policy. Recommend approval.
Thank you. Is there any item anybody on the board would like to have removed and placed elsewhere? Any item staff would like to have removed?
Nope.
Any item anybody in the public would like to have removed and placed elsewhere on the agenda? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Support.
Motion made and supported to adopt the consent calendar as presented. Any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, Ann, could we have a roll, please?
Corn.
Yes.
Schmuckel.
Yes.
Gustinelli.
Yes.
Lapp.
Yes.
L. McManus.
Yes.
McCumber.
Yes.
Jay McManus.
Yes. Thank you. All right, moving on. No items removed. Correspondence. Chris, I see Restorative Lake Science. Is there anything on that?
Just FYI, I received that recently, just thought I'd pass it along for your information.
Okay, thank you. Move on to reports. I think our county commissioner's not going to be here tonight. Is that right?
Correct.
So we'll move on to the Sheriff's Department report.
Good evening, Roy Raska with Grand Traverse County Sheriff's Office. The stats for December for Garfield Township included 63 citations, 11 personal injury accidents, 94 property damage accidents, 7 drunk driving arrests, 53 criminal arrests. And for the year-end stats, 1,016 citations were issued in the township. We had 1 fatality, 163 property or injury accidents, 866 property damage accidents, and 107 OWI arrests, and 655 criminal arrests. Just a couple things that are going on with the community policing officers that are assigned to the township. Deputy James Hunter and Deputy Veith are currently down in Alabama going to a school that's a week long called Field Force Training. Once they get back, they'll be up to date with, it's mostly used for riot control and things like that, creating formations. And there'll be probably 2 of 12 people that will be involved in that. Deputy Mariah Hunter recently got her teaming up with the Long Lake Township Community Police Officer, Deputy McGarrian, to do a fraud and scam presentation. And I'd like to get Mariah doing those on her own eventually. And they were just recently at Independence Village of Traverse City, and they got a good response from everybody involved with it. And then I just thought I'd talk about one more case real quick. I kind of mentioned it in November, but I think it's pretty neat. Deputy James Hunter and Sarah Bush. James is one of the CPOs, and Sarah Bush is the jail diversion specialist. They assisted in getting a 16-year-old victim into the Michigan National Guard Challenge Academy. He and his 2 sisters were victims of a CSC by their step-parent. The young boy began acting out. He was involved with underage use of marijuana, alcohol, and stealing from cars in the middle of the night. He was out in early morning hours. We were finding him, and wasn't receiving any type of parenting by his mom. Deputy Hunter, he's a captain with the National Guard when he's not working here. He was able to assist with getting this young man into the National Guard program, this academy. So Deputy Hunter and Sarah Bush drove this young kid down to Battle Creek because his mom didn't want to get involved. So they took him down to orientation. They were down there all day with him, brought him back at that point. He went back to school. And then just recently, this past weekend, Sarah and another deputy drove this young kid down to begin this academy. So it's pretty great. James took the time to do all that work, and I'll do a letter for James, put in his file, and he's a hard worker, and that's the type of guy you got in the township. So this is James. So that's
I
it.
just want to say that my mother lives at an independent village, and your guys did a great job. They said everybody dealing with older people. She said it was absolutely wonderful.
And our Garfield Township guys are just inundated with frauds and scams where people are just victimized, and there's not much we can do as other than take a report, and
Right.
so, yeah, it's unfortunate.
They did a good job.
Thanks.
Any other questions for Roy? Thanks, Roy. Appreciate it. GT Metro Fire, Chief.
Good evening. Paul Mackin, Grand Traverse Metro Fire. In your packet, you have the Garfield Metro ENFERS incident report for December. This is the last month. January 1st, we did transition along with every fire department in the nation to the new NERIS reporting platform. So this is the last month that you'll see the ENFERS information. Next month, I'm not even sure 100% how it's going to look, but it's going to look a little bit different. It's the first step with NERIS. There's a lot of planned enhancements and updates and everything that they have planned with that, but we'll be kind of tweaking and fine-tuning our records management system and the way that it kind of feeds into that. So a little bit of work with that. So the reports they'll essentially be the same, but it'll look a little bit different with format. As far as the incident types, the total count for Garfield for the month was 421 incidents, 586 in Metro as a whole. Top 3 incident types pretty much stays the same as it normally does. Medical assists of the EMS crews, 262 incidents. Emergency medical services other at 53 incidences, and 49 are dispatch, cancel en route, were requested but ultimately not needed for whatever reason, different things. So 49 of those incidents. Just moving down, we did have three building fires within the township, 7 within Metro as a whole, a couple other cooking fires, and some other incidents along those lines. Turning from ENFERS to our EMS complaints, our top 3 EMS complaints remain the same, with falls still at the top, with 94 incidents within the township, 129 within Metro. Our difficulty breathing calls, with 37 of those, and 28 unknown problems, person down, followed up by general weakness, with 19 within the township. So 381 incidents, or EMS incidents, within the township for the month. Moving on to the next page, our incidents by station. You can see Station 12 had 32%, and then Station 11 had 22% of the incidents. And I've kind of been talking the last few months how Station 12 has been getting busier and busier there, and it's typically been where Station 1 and Station 11 are always their busiest stations, but there's been a number of months here we're seeing that pattern where Station 12 is getting busier and is kind of falling in either number 1 or number 2. Station 1, 29%. Again, Station 1 does service portions of Garfield Township as well. Station 8 with 11%, Station 9 with 5%, as you can see. Our incidents by township, Garfield represented 72% of our incidents, East Bay with 19, Acme at 8, and then 1% out of the area. And then the last graphic just shows you that information already presented in terms of responses by station, or incidents by station that are coded to that station, but then we also have the correlating responses where they're responding to assist another station. So you can see those incidents side by side. So again, Station 12 was the busiest station for the month. So again, we're continuing to monitor that, and we'll kind of see how things go in the future if we need to make any adjustments. But as far as other ongoings within Metro, in the administration, we're working to close out 2025. We got that closed out. We do have an audit planned and scheduled for the week of February 16th. It won't be that Monday, but it'll be during that week that the audit starts. Our annual report, we'll be working on that, hopefully presenting that next month. We'll follow up the following month with our annual plan on what we intend to do for the remainder of the year. We've been working on finalizing our work on a scheduling software, payroll integration. It's been taking up a little bit of time for our accountant and some of our personnel, but we expect to go live by the end of the month with that. So it should cut down on that process, getting that information right into payroll from there, and a little bit more of a real-time evaluation of that. We're also did some major revisions that are 99% done on the employee handbook. We're doing a couple other tweaks, but that'll be completed. We're also looking at completing some of our employee evaluations at this time, as well as reviewing part of that process and how we use the application with that. We are also working with an analytics provider on our response and performance and station configuration, just to kind of look at our call history, analyze that data, give us an idea of where all our calls are happening, but in proximity to our response time, station locations, etc. So we started that process. We provided our initial incident data that's being analyzed for the last 3 years. But then we're also going to be looking at a future growth component of that, where we're going to be kind of categorizing the projects that are planned, maybe in progress or planned or through planning already, things that are highly likely, things that are low likely, and what type of occupancy and number of units those would have. So we're going to be looking at that. We'll be working with your planning departments of all 3 townships to get that data so we can incorporate that into the analysis. So that we're working on as well. Our Station 8 remodel has started in operations. I've been spending a lot of time getting training for 2026 planned out, worked out, revised, retooled. And then in public education, Katie's been working in the schools on her winter safety curriculum. And last but not least, tomorrow evening we'll be holding our annual awards banquet. We'll be doing that where we recognize our years of service that our firefighters have put into Metro, as well as recognizing our firefighter of the year, fire officer of the year, our EMS provider of the year, and our fire prevention specialist in of the year. So we'll be doing that. Looking forward to that tomorrow evening. That completes my report. Happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Chief.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Planning Department. John?
Good evening, John Syke, Planning Director. You have a report in your packet. I just want to highlight 3 items. The Planning Commission has a couple of public hearings tomorrow evening. There will be one on an application for construction of 10 dwelling units on Wysong Road, just north of South Airport Road. Those will overlook Boardman Lake. That's a public hearing for a special use permit. There's also a public hearing on an amendment to the master plan for the airport gateway, which is the area at the southwest corner of South Airport Road and Town Line. And then the other item is the findings of fact for a conditional rezoning request. It's fairly minor. It's on Dual Road. It's basically behind the property that's 3066 Garfield Road, which that 3066 was approved for a commercial district housing development. This would be similar. It was previously a animal grooming, dog grooming business that they want to convert into a couple apartments. So it would be restricted to commercial district housing development, which would be similar to the adjacent property. So that one I just want to mention because that will have to come to the Township Board for approval, as well as the master plan amendment. And that's all I have.
All right, any questions for John? Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Parks and Rec? Derek?
Evening, people. Report's been submitted there. Kind of the overall summary of the parks is just the winter maintenance. With the new tractor, we got it out and kind of toyed around with that a little bit. Found out there were some leaks, so Ginnups has already been out to fix a couple hoses. The fittings were loose, but all squared away there, no charge. It's been fun. We've been keeping the playground-ish open because they've still been playing at the River East Playground, so we've been using the tractor to keep that open because our contractor doesn't want to put his equipment out there in the field. But short of that, it's just been kind of the maintenance stuff and staying on the River East project with the planning and staff, getting that next concept squared away and moving forward. And Sean and I have been working hand in hand with the Sheriff's Department. Our CPO has been doing great. We've had random cars and boats and stuff in weird, precarious positions, and they've been helping us clean that up. That's more of the property maintenance side of things, but kudos to the Sheriff's Department again, helping us out. Any questions for myself?
Thank you.
Thanks, Derek.
Clerk's report.
Oh. That's me. I submitted my report in writing. Are there any questions? No? We are wrapping up the 2025 year. I've got W-2s out today. We're working with the auditors, sending them reports daily prepare for our audit.
Thank you for getting these so quick, too. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
All right, any questions for the clerk? None? All right. Chris, Township Manager's report.
Clerk McManus and I met with our consultant that we're utilizing to update our handbook. Spent about an hour with them answering questions, sent them various forms like our current handbook, a bunch of policies, and some other documents. We expect to meet with them beginning of February for the first draft of the update. So that meeting went very well. I was very impressed with them. Supervisor and I met with the Road Commission management recently to talk about future projects and priorities. Projects consisted of Roosh Road, potential repaving of that. It's in very, very rough shape, like Potter. A potential extension to Zimmerman Road to Lone Tree was a possible concept. We also talked about the Frankie Road project that I've brought up in the past, and some other topics. So really making a priority to meet with them early on and kind of plan and move forward together. Also regarding roads in Frankie, there is a Safe Routes to School grant that TCAPS is trying to obtain, And originally, it was going to apply to Frankie Road, but they learned that it cannot, so they want to try to seek funds to do a crosswalk at Wyatt and Silver Lake. And the timeline is really tight. They need to apply for it next month. So I attended a meeting last week. It was a little frustrating because I didn't realize they were switching gears until I attended that meeting. I'm meeting with Dr. Van Wagner next week just to make sure we're all on the same page, because things just keep getting turned around, and communication, I think, is lacking a little bit. So I believe TCAPS and some other stakeholders are going to look for this board to support a Safe Routes to School potential crosswalk. And my thought is to get the information, have it go to our capital improvement committee, vet out that project, and come back to this board with a recommendation, probably the end of January, the 1st of February. Also, it's important that we involve the road commission because they've got to approve this. I believe the road commission is going to consider a resolution to support the project at an upcoming meeting. I got to verify that with the manager, so I can let you know what their plan is. But we're not going to go rogue with this. It's going to be in coordination with the road commission as long as they're in support of it. I just want to make sure that we're not going to create a conflict. River East concept designs I included on the packet, and we engaged this person on about a month ago for the project, and we met them on the 5th of January for initial conversation, and she also met with the Parks Commission, and she just created these renderings, these concepts. The Parks Commission had a chance to look at them, internal staff did, and what I'm finding is that everybody likes a little section of each of the three, like the original one that GFA put together. So, and we believe that would happen, so what we're going to do is take everybody's input and go back to the designer and have her kind of create one based on all the input, and then hopefully go that, present that back to the board and go that direction with board support. Community service activity. One thing I just want to point out is, joining Rotary has been great. It provided me with many opportunities that I didn't have before because of the connections. And in the past, my wife and I would always donate money for Christmas time to provide for families that were in need. And, you always gave money and, contributed that way. Rotary added a personal touch where it was my responsibility to contact the dad of a family, figure out what their needs and wants are, to go do the shopping, to do the wrapping, and actually deliver it just before Christmas. So that was very, very neat, and I just want to thank this board for supporting me in that effort. So that's kind of neat. I plan on doing it every year because it's really, it's a good feeling, giving back to the community. So want to point that out. And then one other thing that wasn't on my report is one of our Joint Rec Authority members is resigning, has resigned, I believe, after the first meeting in January. A long-serving member, 20 years, Tim Hughes, and we're going to be looking for a replacement for him. Also, our Board of Review individual that we had identified for that position is not going to work out, and then we have some ZBA alternatives. So we posted something on our Facebook page. You can put it in the paper looking for applications and letters of interest, and we will bring that to this board in the future for consideration to put them in place. And that is all I have.
All right. Any questions for Chris? Well, thanks, Chris. All right, supervisor's report. Chris already touched on a couple things I had noted. The road commission, really a good meeting with them, setting some priorities. We had not only the management of the road commission, but also the road commission board member for our area as well was there, so it was well attended and a really productive meeting. We, as directed by this board at our December 23rd meeting, the ad hoc committee we formed has already met twice, working on the TIF pilot policy, and we had a lot of real good progress. We expect probably at the next board meeting we'll actually have a draft for the board to look at as far as to get that policy in place. I think it's important to do that. Chris and I, last Thursday and Friday, attended a MCAT. Wasn't that bad, Chris? Excuse me. MCAT class, so for assessing certification. So Chris and I both attended that class and had the test yesterday. So within a week or so, we'll find out how we did on the test. But really, a very educational class. I tell you what, it was a information download over 2 days, but very good. And I think Chloe recommended we go to that. So thanks for bringing that up, because that was, very informative and information we need to know, and it was good, so I appreciate that. As you mentioned, River East, we had a good design meeting actually today, where we kind of put together some pieces of that, and I think that's coming together really nicely based on what I saw today. And then I think it's not a problem, but John, we I think found out today that CBDG grant that we've been trying to get, the $1 million grant for the flats, was approved today.
Nice.
We got that today, so that's a big plus for that project for infrastructure. So a lot of good things going on. So, any questions for me? All right, thank you. Moving on then, we'll go to, I don't see anything under unfinished business. So the first item under new business is a public hearing, excuse me, consideration of fire prevention ordinance 81. So, Chris, I don't know if anybody's gonna kick this off at all, or?
Just start the public hearing, and then we'll.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this at our, I think, at our
Introduced
last
it,
meeting, so it's just, just adopting the ordinance with its changes and tweaks, local tweaks that we put together at the last one. So we'll go ahead and open up the public hearing. If anybody would like to speak to the public hearing on the fire prevention ordinance 81, we'll open it up. I don't think anybody's here to talk about the fire ordinance tonight, Brian, but, so we will go ahead and close the public hearing and bring it back to the board for your thoughts.
Make a motion that we adopt the fire prevention ordinance 81.
Support.
Motion made and supported to adopt fire prevention ordinance 81 as presented in your packet. Any further discussion on that motion? Ann, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes.
Augustinelli,
Yes.
Corn,
Yes.
McCumber,
Yes.
Lapp,
Yes.
Al McManus,
Yes.
and Jay McManus.
Yes, thank you. All right, next public hearing. Public hearing, consideration of Smith Brothers rezoning request, resolution 2026-04-T, page 95 in your packet. John?
Excuse me.
Yes, this is a rezoning for 2151 Cass Road. It's a 10-acre parcel that's currently split zoned. So the north half is zoned IL Limited Industrial, and the south half is zoned CL Local Commercial. The proposed zoning would eliminate the split and entirely zone it Limited Industrial IL. It's planned for industrial, so it meets the master plan for this property along Cass Road.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we'll go ahead and open up the public hearing for consideration of resolution 2026-04-T. Yeah, quick evening with a lot of public hearings. All right, we'll go ahead and close public hearing and bring it back to the board. Anybody?
I make a motion that we adopt resolution Smith Brothers rezoning request resolution 2026-04-T.
Support?
Motion made and supported to approve resolution 2026-04-T, the Smith Brothers rezoning. Any further discussion on that motion? John?
So that was the resolution, but we have the two other, the findings of fact and
sorry.
the
Got ahead
actual
of ourselves.
rezoning, and then the resolution is kind of finalizing that.
All right, so let's go back up. First motion we're looking for is a motion to accept
Is
the
that
findings of fact.
ordinance number 68, or that?
No, still,
Findings of fact, yeah.
Motion
Yeah,
that the
there's
planning
three
commission's
total
recommended
findings
findings
of
of
fact.
fact for application Z-2025-02 as provided in the planning department report 2026-6, and forming part of this motion, be approved.
Support?
motion made and supported to approve the findings of fact for application Z 2025-02, as noted in Planning Department Report 2026-06. Any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And we move on to the recommended resolution to do the rezoning. I think you've already made that motion. We want to restate that?
Yes, I make a motion that we adopt the consideration of Smith Brothers rezoning request resolution 2026-0-4-T. What page are you on?
102.
Huh?
102.
I think that's the wrong one.
Well, then I rescind that motion. Somebody else can make it.
I'll make a motion that application Z 2025-2 submitted by James Smith to rezone parcel number 05-022-019-00 at 2151 Cass Road from its current split zoning of CL Local Commercial and IL Limited Industrial to IL Limited Industrial, and constituting amendment number 46 to Garfield Township Ordinance number 68, be approved based on the adopted findings of fact and for the reasons set forth in Planning Department Report 2026-6.
Support.
Motion made and supported that application Z 2025-02 be approved for all the information stated. Any further discussion on that motion? Ann, could we have a roll call on that, please?
Sure. Yes. Lapp.
Yes.
Augustinelli.
Yes.
Corn.
Yes.
Schmuckel.
Yes.
McCumber.
Yes.
L. McManus.
Yes.
J. McManus.
Yes. And then there's one final motion there.
Motion that resolution 2026-04-T to adopt amendment number 46 to the Garfield Township Ordinance number 68 to rezone parcel number 05-022-019-00 at 2151 Cass Road from its current split zoning of CL-Local Commercial and IL Limited Industrial to IL Limited Industrial be adopted.
Support.
Motion made and supported to approve resolution 2026-04-T and adopting the map amendment for the rezoning. Any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, Ann, could we have a roll on that, please?
Corn.
Yes.
Lapp.
Yes.
L. McManus.
Yes.
McCumber.
Yes.
Augustinelli.
Yes.
Schmuckel.
Yes.
And J. McManus.
Yes, thank you. Thanks, John, for clarifying that. Moving on. New item C, public hearing, consideration of amendment to zoning ordinance 68 for mixed-use neighborhood, resolution 2026-03-T.
So this is an amendment to the zoning ordinance that would create a new zoning district. The mixed-use neighborhood zoning district would allow for, it's kind of a low-intensive type of district that would allow for both residential, single-family and multifamily. It would allow for some low intensive commercial businesses, office businesses, and so forth. The thought is to apply, this helps to advance the future land use map and the master plan for some of these mixed-use areas. The initial thought where this could be applied is on the Veterans Drive corridor here down the street, where right now, if you were to drive that street, it works fairly well in terms of the business mix there, but there's actually 4 different types of zoning districts going on between the single family, the multifamily, the local commercial, and the office commercial. This would streamline it, make some good flexibility in terms of what property owners can do there, but also meet the kind of the general standards of the ordinance.
All right, this time we'll go ahead and open up the public hearing for consideration of amendment to the zoning ordinance 68, the mixed-use neighborhood, resolution 2026-03-T. see anybody coming up to speak to this one, so we'll go ahead and close that public hearing, bring it back to the board.
I make a motion that Resolution 2026-03-T to adopt Amendment Number 45 to the Garfield Township Ordinance Number 68, Garfield Township Zoning Ordinance be adopted.
Support.
Motion made, supported, adopt resolution 2026-03-T, which is amendment 45 to the ordinance 68. Any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, Ann?
Schmuckel.
Yes.
Augustinelli.
Yes.
Lapp.
Yes.
L. McManus.
Yes.
McCumber.
Yes.
Horn.
Yes.
J. McManus.
Yes, thank you. All right, one more public hearing this evening. Public hearing and consideration of stormwater management ordinance number 80, resolution 2026-01-T. And I believe there's also some information on your desk. We'll have open a public hearing, and then after that, we'll discuss the handout if there's any questions around that. So at this time, I don't know if there's any need for any introduction to this one, is there, Chris? Just open up public hearing?
Yep.
So we'll go ahead and open up the public hearing for the consideration of stormwater management ordinance 80. Yeah, I think we're 4 for 4 on public hearings this evening, so we'll go ahead and close public hearing and bring it back to the board. Chris, do you want to talk to this?
Yeah, so the stormwater ordinance has been in development for many, many months, and our zoning administrator has been working with Gordy Frazier to do that. Last step in the process was to reach out to some local stakeholders, one being the Grand Traverse Bay Watershed Center, and you received a letter in your packet. They had some comments to make on the draft ordinance, and which prompted us to reach back out to Gordy Frazier to further discuss their concerns or comments with GFA. And it didn't allow us enough time working with GFA to either update the draft ordinance or keep it the way it was. So we feel that it's appropriate this time to allow us some time and, don't take any action on the resolution. Over the next week, we can update it and bring it back to you the last meeting in January. Take it into consider their comments.
So you just want a table?
Yeah, motion
I
to
would,
table.
yeah,
just like
suggest
that.
that you do.
I'd make a motion that we table the stormwater ordinance
Support.
until, do you want a date?
Yeah, let's just do to the next meeting, or we should have it ready at the next meeting.
We should, yep.
Till the next board meeting.
Still get to
The
do
only-
public.
I missed what you said, but do you still hold the public hearing tonight?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
But then bring it back
Yeah,
next time.
we have we still have the public hearing tonight. We can tweak it and still approve it at our next
Okay,
meeting.
sorry.
Yep.
I just wanted to make sure.
That's why we went ahead with the public hearing tonight, just so we could get
So we don't have
that
to
part of the
repost
way,
it.
but we'll still, take the watershed's input and tweak a couple things on it. So motion made, was it supported? Denise-
I
Denise,
did,
okay.
I'm sorry.
So motion made and supported to table the stormwater ordinance, resolution 2026-01-T to our January 27th meeting. All right, any further discussion on that motion?
Is
Hearing
that
none.
enough time, Chris?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Item E, consideration of revised fee schedule, resolution 2026-02-T. Somebody speaking to this, Chris, or is this just
Why don't we have our zoning administrator come up and talk to
Okay.
that topic?
Good evening, Michael Green, zoning administrator. I initiated this resolution, worked with Karen Lever. The reason for the fee schedule is to create some administrative fees for stormwater review for when we do when the board does adopt this ordinance. The fees would cover our review costs. So right now, everything goes to Gordy Frazier. We collect an escrow for them to review it, then they provide us a letter. But in this case, under the new ordinance, we would actually approve a permit and make sure the conditions and if there are any conditions or if it's a outright approval from Gordy Frazier, that we memorialize it in the permit. So also we want to have we felt like the fee should cover some of our costs of maintaining those escrow accounts, because there's quite a bit of work involved in that, so that's where we came up with the numbers. You know, you're welcome to provide input on that. I, appreciate any input on that, but we felt that these were fair and represent their actual cost of doing business.
So the fee schedule in front of us, the two in yellow are the only thing we're really changing this evening.
Yes, correct.
Good. Yeah, Molly?
So it's going to work about the same way as the building department?
Mm-hmm.
You get a permit,
Mm-hmm.
there's a fee.
Correct.
The fee's used to do whatever the township needs to do with it, and same way with the other.
Right, right.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll still collect the escrow, 'cause we're still gonna need Gordy Frazier or whoever our engineer is to do their review, but we'll follow up with an actual permit, which is different from how we do it now.
Any other questions for Mike? Okay.
I make a motion that we adopt the revised fee schedule, Resolution 2026-02-T.
Support?
Motion made and supported to adopt Resolution 2026-02-T, which is a revised fee schedule, including now stormwater management permits. Any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none. Ann?
Schmuckel?
Yes.
Augustinelli?
Yes.
Lapp?
Yes.
Cumber?
Yes.
L. McManus?
Yes.
Corn?
Yes.
J. McManus?
Yes, thank you. All right. Brings us to our next and final public comment. So we will open up public comment. If anybody would like to come forward and let us know what they're thinking, now's your time. And it's very often the case. Nobody's coming forward, so we'll go ahead and close public comment and ask if there's any other business to come before the board this evening. If not,
I have something. MTA is in town. I don't know if you got the message, but if you'd like to go, you need to let me know and we'll get you registered.
Do you have brochures?
Yep, I'll get some. I'll print one off for you. I'm at the next board meeting.
actually, I think the next 3 years, I believe it's in Traverse City, so.
So it's a good time to go.
Great. Anything else this evening? If not, stand adjourned.